Welcome to another video, and today I wanted to have a little bit of fun. Now, if you've ever ordered from us, then you will have received a handwritten note from somebody here in the office thanking you for your order. Well, it's time to fill up a pen or three once again, and I thought it might be fun to make a video out of it. Just so happens I have 3 TWSBI Ecos in my hands and ready to go. One is blue, one is purple, and one is yellow. I decided to match the same color ink with each of them, and then I'll give you my impressions of the colors and how well they write. Let's take a look at the inks I've got from our sample department. The first ink to go with the blue pen is the lovely Shin-kai from the Iroshizuku collection of Pilot. This deep sea blue ink looks totally irresistible to me, and I can't wait to put it in the blue Eco. The second ink is Majestic Purple by Diamine. Now, I absolutely love Diamine, and I know many of you do too. I'm sure that this ink promises deep, rich tones and a gorgeous writing experience. The third ink is taking me well outside of my comfort zone. It's Buttered Popcorn from Ferris Wheel Press, and to be honest, I'm not a fan of the lighter pastel colors, and I have a feeling this one might be one of those, but you never know, so we'll give it a try. Okay, so I have my beautiful TWSBIs here prepared. The first one here is with Diamine Magenta Purple, and then we've got the yellow one here, which is Buttered Popcorn, and of course we've got Japanese Iroshizuku Shin-kai here as well. So we'll move these to one side. And let's take a look at the blue first, Shin-kai. There is the beautiful bottle. And I gotta say, the Shin-kai, the Iroshizuku bottles are really, really nice. We mostly stock them in the 50 milliliter. And they come in from Japan, and they're absolutely gorgeous. So, question is, how gorgeous is the ink? Does it write? And do we like it? Let's give it a go. Try the blue TWSBI first. Oh yeah, actually yes. Interesting. Oh. Ooh, that's smooth. This is a medium nib, I believe. TWSBI. And I am going to take a dab of that ink as well with a cotton swab too. Now the ink writes really smoothly with the TWSBI, I will say that. Let's take a little bit of a dab in there, and we'll give it a, you can see the color of it there. Now, funny thing about blues, to me they're almost kind of normal inks that you would use in every day, and kind of you know, I find blues a little bit boring in a sense. Actually, some of the best blues I love are the blue blacks, particularly actually the Diamine blue black as well. However, I do like to use blue inks in a more formal setting, and I have to be honest, yep, this Shin-kai is a really nice one. Actually, nothing particularly special about it. I would say I still would gravitate towards more of a blue black myself, actually. But, you know, I think for an everyday writing ink, I think this would be extremely solid as well. And the Iroshizuku, apart from being in a beautiful bottle and a beautiful Japanese ink, they are extremely reliable inks as well. Now, they are fairly highly, well, pretty highly saturated. Actually, I would not recommend them for a vintage pen. Okay, something like your classic Parker 51. And some of my vintage friends would recommend J. Harbin and pretty much nothing else for those pens. But for something like this TWSBI here, I think that would work very nicely, and we're going to use that for writing our thank you letters for sure. Next on the list is Diamine Majestic Purple, and I absolutely love Diamine inks, and many of our customers do, because not only do they come in a wide range of colors, they are very well behaved, they flow really nicely, and they're just very powerful, rich, deep colors that are wonderful for everyday use. So I'm going to throw that bottle to one side over here, grab the pen, grab the TWSBI, and give it a go. What can I say? That's Diamine for sure. And actually, ooh, what a nice purple that is. That is a very nice purple. I'm not really a purpley kind of guy, to be honest. But, oh, I like that. Smooth as well. Love this. Matches the cap nicely. Let's get a cotton bud in there and take a look. A little bit of a dip. Have a lot of fun in this job, that's for sure. Move that to one side. Look at that. Look at that. Oof. That is going to be a very well behaved ink, I can tell you. And I am going to enjoy that, using that for sure. Now, I haven't got the best eyesight in the world, so you'll get a lot of people talking about sheen and shine and all that kind of thing, and I can never see it. And it often depends what kind of light you're sitting under as well. But the kind of inks that I like are deep and saturated, and they're kind of inks that I can use every day. I love dark colors. I'm a big fan of brown inks. Okay, I'm a big fan of the purple inks here, but it's Diamine, so I'll be a fan. Like I said before, the blue-black is something I absolutely love. And some of the other richer colors Diamine have also. And in fact, Diamine's kind of my go-to ink in general, along with J. Harbin as well. I don't generally go for the Iroshizuku, to be honest. I can't tell you why, no reason. I just really love the Diamine inks. And definitely this purple is a beaut. It's going to be fun to be writing thank you notes with that ink. Oakley dokley, let's take a look at this Ferris Wheel Buttered Popcorn. Now, we've had Ferris Wheel inks in the store for quite some time, and they're certainly popular among certain customers, and they're not popular among other customers. And I think it's because of the colors are generally somewhat pastel, although Jelly Bean Blue is one that is a darker and a nice color. Oh, and Bluegrass Velvet is one of my absolute favorites. I have to say, if you haven't tried that ink, you have to, because the shading on it is absolutely awesome, and the sort of blue-green color of it is beautiful. Now, Butter Popcorn. So I'm kind of interested to see how this one looks, because I'm probably not going to use this as an everyday writer. Now, in the pen itself, it looks pretty dark, okay? But truth is, when the ink hits the paper, how does it look? Let's take a look. And also, how does it feel to write with as well? Because funnily, some of these lighter colors I don't enjoy writing with either. And I can't explain why. It's just maybe it's the way they flow. I don't know. Maybe the saturated inks have more ink in them, if you know what I mean. Let's give this one a go. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. Smooth, yes. Can I read it? Kinda. And you might not be able to see this on camera, but as I'm looking at the lines that I'm writing here, and as the ink ages, it appears to be getting a little bit darker. So question is that really true? I don't know. I'll leave that up to you to think about that, and maybe leave a comment below. Let's get a little bit of an ink swab going here. Now, the other thing to remember about these Ferris Wheel 38 milliliter bottles is they're dreadfully thin, and I've had a couple of near misses tipping these guys over, so you have to be a little bit careful there, as you saw when I was filling the pen. Put the lid on before I moved the pen. Okay, let's throw that to one side there, and it's kind of a brownish yellow. Actually, it's not bad at all. I will say this. Actually, it's not bad at all. I kind of like that. What I have noticed with the Ferris wheel inks as well is they do have a lot more shading than many of the other inks that are kind of a very solid color, and they have definitely got some character for sure. Now, I'm definitely a browning kind of person. I am not a yellowing kind of person, so I'm going to tell you now, I'm not going to use this ink every day, but it could be kind of nice and could be kind of fun to try to force myself to use it in the office to see if I can get used to it. And it's actually a little bit darker than I imagined it would be. And the ink swab really gives it some amazing coloring there as well. So I'd be curious, actually, I would be very curious to know what you guys think. If you could leave me a comment below. Are you a deep purple kind of person? Are you a deep blue kind of person? Or are you a pastel yellow kind of person? Add a comment. Now, if you really like the pastels as well, I'm quite intrigued as to what you use them for. Are you an artist? Do you use them as everyday writers? Do you use them in school or college? What do you use them for? And if you like those really nice saturated colors like the purple here or the blue, let me know also in the comments, and be really curious actually. And it'd be really nice. I think a lot of people watching these videos, and this video is not a pen review, it's kind of an, semi-formal, informal ink review. It'd be really interesting to know something about your experiences with these inks or inks such as this. What do you think of Irishizuku? What do you think of Ferris Wheel Press? And if you haven't heard of them, they're a great Canadian company out of Toronto. And what do you think of Diamine? I'd be curious to know, and I'm sure many of our customers would as well.